All right, it's happening. It's official. We're leaving behind the world of the theme park and entering the world of movies here at Universal Studios on a special nighttime tour. But surprisingly, I will not be doing this myself. And no, Tony will not be hopping on mic. I am selfish, and I will not allow him to grace you with his presence like that. Trust me. He's better than me, and I don't want that to happen tonight. Instead, I brought along my other co-host. You may know her from television shows like That's My Jam, and of course the movie Taxi with Queen Latifah. Everyone, it's Mr. Jimmy Fallon. Say, what's up, Jimmy?
What's up, Jimmy?
Yes, my people.
Oh, hey there. You made it. Welcome to the Universal Studio Tour. I'm Jimmy Fallon. I'll be making sure that you get through this experience in one piece. You've got the very best guide.
Dom!
And the greatest driver.
Tony.
They're the best. I love them. Even though
Dom!
owes me $5. I know you guys are excited to get on the tour, but first, a few safety rules.
That's right, folks. We do have a few safety rules to go over. First and foremost, if you or a loved one drop anything of value, if you have any audio or video issues, or, I don't know, maybe you got an inkling for that tinkling, please reach out and pull that red emergency cord running down the center of the ceiling of your tram. Otherwise, please remain seated at all times, keeping your arms and legs inside the vehicle, even if the tram is moving slowly or not at all. Now, our tour today will contain loud noises, fire effects, water effects, and sudden tram movement, so have your phones and cameras out and ready. You never know who or what you're going to see, but they may get wet. A couple more reminders: there's no smoking while on board our tour today, or throughout the entire theme park for that matter. That does include vaping, including e-cigarettes and vapes. And there is no use of selfie sticks while on board. All right, my friends, let's leave behind the theme park, enter Universal City. We got our start back in 1914 when our founder Carl Laemmle released his first movie, Damon and Pythias. And then he had an idea. What if I let the world come see how movies are made in this strange little city? And we really are our own city, complete with a zip code, dedicated to making movies. So a year later, on March 15, 1915, as you can see, Carl Laemmle said, "Welcome one and all to this place that's way better than Disneyland." Now, like I said, we are our own city, complete with our own zip code. We got 3 Starbucks, a coffee bean, the very first female police chief in all of LA County, Miss Laura Oakley, was right back here. And on your right-hand side, Fire Station 51. The hottest heroes in Hollywood, because they work as firefighters. Now, if the number 51 is familiar to you, it's probably because you've seen the television show Emergency. That's actually where that station house number comes from. You see, back in the 70s during the Vietnam War, there was a study done that showed that more soldiers out in the field were getting life-threatening injuries but surviving way more than people back here at home. Why? Well, because the medics would go to them. And so NBC was one of the first shows to actually popularize the use of ambulances. And as you can see, they're kind of a big deal nowadays, all thanks to Emergency, which is where that station house gets its number. You might also be a fan of Chicago Fire, which also uses Station House 51. I'm so glad you're right there. And that's because one of the writers on Emergency was Dick Wolf, who then went on to produce the Chicago Fire, PD, Meg franchise, as well as all the Law and Order shows. Although these television shows take place all across the world and, well, our country, 90% of filming is not done on location. It's actually done here at our movie studios, and even more so in these buildings on your left-hand side, our sound stages. We just passed sound stage 12, which is our oldest and largest. Take a look on your screen and see a couple of things that's filmed there. It's been everything from Dr. Frankenstein's lab to Dracula's castle. It was even in How the Grinch Stole Christmas, Scarface's mansion, Back to the Future, Jurassic Park, Imitation of Life, and honestly, so much more. Hello. Now the thing is, how do we get all these places in one building? It's simple. They're essentially giant empty warehouses that are about 90 to 98% soundproof. Now, over here on your left-hand side are some of my favorite sound stages, particularly because of what's filmed inside of them. Sound stages 6 and 7. I'm so sorry. 10 and 11, they renumbered them recently. Those two were used for the television show Grand Cru, starring comedian Nicole Byer. It was actually where they had their bar, their wine bar that they would meet in as a Grand Cru. They featured Black-owned businesses, Black-owned wines, specifically to allow for people to see them and want to buy them, including Black Girl Magic Wine. Fantastic. Catch me in 9 months when I pop out these babies with a glass. Right after that, we have Soundstage 7 and 8, and those two held not only Superstore, where yes, once again, they featured real businesses to allow for you to have a little thought in your mind, maybe I do want to buy a Black & Decker blender. It's also home to Bel Air, starring Jabari Banks. If you haven't seen it, so sad for you. Check out on your screen a quick little hello from Jabari Banks himself.
So what it is, you put egg on the cheese. You put cheese on the eggs, and then cheese. That's right.
Whoa, how many seats do you think are in there?
I don't know, it's gotta be a lot.
Man, we could probably fit the whole Bel Air cast and crew in there.
You know, we gotta get one of these for the mansion. And for sure. You're lucky for y'all, the Banks family mansion lives right here on the Universal lot.
Right. Some of Bel Air's most pivotal scenes have been filmed right here. Jabari, what have been your most memorable moments?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, there's so many to choose from. You know, I love the foyer set when Will first enters, and at that moment, his life changes forever. What about you?
Well, the Bel Air Academy gym set is here too, and I remember you having to sit in that cold ice bath for hours.
Yeah. And that was really fun. I still can't feel my toes. No, but seriously, my favorite part of this lot is the talented crew who put it all together, from hair, wardrobe, makeup,
Set design, props, and transportation.
Transmo. Yes, Transmo's the best. Yeah, they have the sweetest rides for us to play with.
Actually, speaking of, if we're gonna get a ride like this, we'd better go talk to Transpo now and let these people get back to their tour.
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah. As long as I get to drive.
Oh, not if I've got the keys.
Oh, nothing.
Come on, man.
That's right, folks. Check out Bel Air, streaming now on Peacock. It's personally one of my favorite shows. If you haven't seen it yet, you're truly missing out. It is, of course, based on the 90s franchise Fresh Prince of Bel Air, which I'm sure we have all seen. And if you haven't, so sad for you. But check it out on Max. It's currently streaming. However, Peacock is a dramatic, gritty version of it, and actually came out in a 2016 fan-made trailer. The production value of that trailer was so good, people like me thought it was real, and so did Will Smith, and he was confused because he's like, I'm not producing this. So he said, "Bet," and now he is. On your left-hand side, we have South Stage 19. That was where Ted Danson filmed both Mr. Mayor and The Good Place. It's so funny. It's almost like being someplace where everyone knows his name, which is great because he also filmed Cheers here. Now, the fact of the matter is, a lot of these fantastic television shows begin with a single idea, and that happens in the first of 3 stages of filming, pre-production. Now, pre-production is anything that happens before the camera starts rolling, including writing the script, budgeting, casting. In fact, the entire cast of The Office got their start right back here in our Universal backlot. They would hear the tram going all the way through, talking about how next week's star is right behind those doors, and they really are. In fact, those pre-production bungalows on your left-hand side hold some of the most prolific directors and producers in Hollywood, including Jordan Peele's Monkey Paw Productions, which brought us Once a Little Wild, Lovecraft County, Us, Get Out, Candyman, and more. You may recognize Martin Platt's Productions scooting all the way in the back at 5162, also because they have a cute little globe from Wicked on it. You see, Wicked is happening whether you like it or not, starting next year for Christmas, and what a gift it is, because Martin Platt's Productions, they have brought us such phenomenal musical films like La La Land, and even produced, alongside Disney, the new live-action Little Mermaid, my personal favorite. Now here's the thing, if you haven't seen the behind-the-scenes videos about the Under the Sea dance number, again, you're missing out. It was choreographed and danced by the Alvin Ailey Dance Company, one of the most prolific Black dance crews in America, and if I dare say, the world. Now, with Wicked itself, it started off as a book trilogy and then became a Broadway musical starring people like Idina Menzel and Kristen Chenoweth. And yet, now, we have Cynthia Erivo playing Elphaba on screen, Jeff Goldblum as the Wizard, and Ariana Grande as Glinda, who, though got her, we know her mostly as a pop singer, got her start on Broadway, and even played our Penny Pinkleton in Hairspray Live, another musical right over there in our Metropolitan sets. Now, although those sets look like a concrete jungle, they're not quite all that they seem, and neither is our next adventure. So, folks, as we journey into a place untouched by time, I want to remind you, please remain seated, all right? It's going to get pretty wild and crazy in there, so if at any point you feel as though you dropped something, once we get inside that tunnel, unfortunately, I'm unable to get it for you, so hold on tight to your personal belongings and your loved ones, and welcome to Skull Island.
It's the original King Kong that made me want to direct movies. I saw that movie on TV when I was about 8 or 9 years old. I wanted to become a filmmaker. I like films that just take you away from your real life and sweep you up an adventure. Kong literally does that. I mean, you're on board the ship, you're sailing to a lost island, you're encountering monsters and creatures from, you know, prehistoric times. So I was thrilled when Universal invited me back to Skull Island. It was great to have you along for the ride. Now we have created this 3D immersive experience, so you're going to have your glasses ready. Don't put them on yet, but just have them in your hand because we're about to return to Skull Island.
Nobody's lived here for hundreds of years. So true.
Now my friends, go and take off those 3D glasses. You won't need them for a little bit while longer. I'll make sure to tell you when that is. In the meantime, please check with your loved ones. Did you lose anyone? No, we're all good? I mean, thank the Lord Almighty, because those T-Rexes really had us on the ropes. All of that was brought to us by our friends at Weta FX, formerly known as Weta Digital. Now, you may not recognize their names, but trust me, babes, you recognize their work. At this point, they've actually won 8 Academy Awards for the work on movies like King Kong, Rise of the Planet of the Apes, even hiding the fact that Gal Gadot was 7 months pregnant in some shots of Wonder Woman. Isn't that incredible? Here to tell you more about it is the cast themselves.
With a project like the studio tour, the audience is in the middle of the environment. They're looking in all directions, there's creatures coming at them, they're seeing Kong from this side and T-Rexes from the other side.
Working on a movie, we always know where people are looking straight ahead of the shot that we're working on.
Here you have to take into account that people are looking in all directions.
Also, one of the things about this, a lot of times like the movies that we're used to working on, there's no cuts. Because it's one giant shot. This tram that's driving along through Skull Island is where the camera's from. This ring represents where the screen is 10 meters away.
We're really creating about 50 minutes of a feature film. With that amount of visual information, that number of pixels, and presenting them to the audience, it's a hell of a ride.
Okay.
Just like they said in King Kong, in that video right there, it really was something to see them bring this whole experience to life, especially considering they put a little bit of a studio tour in it just for us. don't know if you guys noticed, but there was actually a fifth car attached to our vehicle, and that was a bit too much. So I asked the T-Rex just go ahead and rip it right off. And don't worry, it's fine. Everyone on board was just like friends and family of What Digital, so no one you know personally, I hope. And then plus, once their car became on screen, they were now riding on what's known as a picture car, or any vehicle seen on screen, including the 1932 Ford Deuce Coupe of American Graffiti. That was the first movie that Mr. George... I almost sneezed. Stay back. Okay. Thank you, I appreciate you.
Sorry.
That was a movie that Harrison Ford was in even before, I know, Star Wars, which Universal did pass up on, but it's okay because we kind of made up for it when we produced Back to the Future. Now, just like me, none of these cars run, especially the Flintstones cars, and that's because, well, yes, they are foot-powered, except for the fact that they were dragged around by golf carts when actually filming. We have the Fry's Electronics van from Jordan Peele's latest horror film, Nope. And of course the Crawdaddy from Jordan Peele's Us, starring award winner Lupita Nyong'o and of course Winston Duke. And then of course we do have that tank from Transformers, which is actually known as a Bradley infantry fighting vehicle. And even then I wouldn't call it that. You know what I would call it? Fake. Super fake. So fake. Why? Because it is. What? Hollywood's been lying to me this whole time. I'm so sorry to break it to you kids. But yes, we've been lying. We recreate our vehicles for one big reason, stunts. It's easier, safer, and I don't know, more budget friendly to recreate these vehicles with pliable materials like plywood, chicken wire, foam rubber, things that we can easily recreate over and over again. Also, have y'all tried to buy a tank? Apparently, it's not possible. We tried. Now, some of your favorite picture cars don't always come from a place unknown to people. Sometimes they become just as iconic as the people who drove them and even healed dinosaurs in them. Welcome to Jurassic Park, and on your left-hand side, we do in fact have the real mobile lab used on screen from Jurassic Park. It's okay, folks, even though it's made of plywood, it is still very sturdy. It keeps all velociraptors inside. As long as there's no Dilophosaurus, I think we'll be okay. Yeah. We're not okay. Big yikes. You were smart. You were very smart to bring that protective headgear. The rest of you, I will miss you. Don't worry though. Tap in that Dilophosaurus spit. It works as a great anti-aging serum. I'm older than Universal. You would never be able to tell. Now, one of the great features about making movies is you can never really tell where they're filming, especially when we film in multiple locations. Jurassic Park was supposed to take place on an island off the coast of Costa Rica, except it filmed in Hawaii and Universal. Yeah, here on our own Universal backlot. They have multiple locations, and a lot of them happen in places where the rain doesn't pour and it shines all day. Yeah. So we brought you down to Old Mexico to show you how we make it rain. But I'm going to need your help, so get your hands ready, okay? My friend Joseph is up in the tech booth right now. He sees our tram, he knows to turn on thunder and lightning using strobe lights and speakers placed strategically around the buildings. Now, everyone hands up in the air. On the count of 3, you're going to clap or snap, all right? 1, 2, 3. I hope not. Okay, I'm so sorry. Joseph has been really off this game today. But there we go. He has our very special movie magic sprinkler system! Woo! Amazing! Except that you can do that at home. Yeah, just take your garden hose, put your finger over the nozzle, shoot it up into the air. The real magic is the lighting. You'll notice with every flash of lightning, you can actually see the raindrops. That's why when you're watching a sports game and they're like, there's a rain delay, and you're like, I see nothing. They're lying. They're not. The best part about this is we can keep making it rain over and over and over again, and nothing bad will ever, ever happen. Except for a flash flood. Big yikes. Protect your hair now. Car 1 always thinks they're safe. Y'all, I wore rain boots today for a reason. And that's it. Go ahead and remain seated in car 2 for me. Thank you so much. Now, if you're thinking, oh my goodness, I've seen this place before, you certainly have. If you're a fan of the movie Big Fat Liar with Paul Giamatti, Amanda Bynes, and Frankie Muniz, that's the same flash flood where Paul Giamatti's stunt double was flushed away. But it's also the same floodwaters that's played as Lady Gaga, the real Lady Gaga, in her 6-inch heels in the music video Judas. The rest of Mexico may be familiar from television shows like Westworld. This was season 1, The Town of Pariah. It was also used as the wedding scene in the movie What's Love Got to Do with It? The Tina Turner story, starring should-be award-winning actress Angela Bassett. I'm never getting over it. And Lawrence Fishburne. You know, we never should get over it. You know, it's only one of 2 movies that I've seen with both of them in it. Can you guys guess the second one? Okay, not Boys in the Hood. Surprisingly, I haven't seen it. Aquila and the Bee, with our queen, Keke Palmer. I know. I'm pretty stoked about it. Tony, you have to go watch Aquila and the Bee, and I'll watch Boys in the Hood. Oh, that's on me then. Now, welcome to 6 Points, Texas. Here's where we have some of the craziest bar fights in our dressmaker shops. It's also where Universal filmed over 200 movies in a single year because it was the age of silent films. But my favorite production that's filmed here was, of course, The Color Purple, Whoopi Goldberg's very first movie. Down these streets was Stevie's Pant Shop. And I'll have you know that was the first of many fantastic movies that Whoopi went on to do before she became the first black woman to achieve EGOT status. Meaning she's won an Emmy, a Grammy, an Oscar, and a Tony. Folks, do you know how hard that is to do? Only 19 people in human history have done it. Only 3 of them are black women. The first, Whoopi Goldberg. The second, Jennifer Hudson, who is still so young, by the way. And the third just happened this year, in the year of our Lord, 2023. Can anyone guess who it was? She got her Grammy. Viola Davis. She's like, I know this. Trust and believe. You were probably screaming and crying just like I was. The first black man was Mr. The Man, the Myth, the John Legend, who was one of our coaches on The Voice that actually films right across that body of water in Soundstage 30. That body of water is pretty important though, not just because it was the Atlantic Ocean of McHale's Navy, not just because it's where Paul Robeson sang Old Man River in the musical Showboat, and not just because it's where Norman Bates hides bodies. No, it's because that's where the creature from the Black Lagoon lives. I know, but you know what's more terrifying than a monster? Death. But don't worry, everything's going to be fine, because you're in the good place. Also known as Little Europe. That's right, folks, welcome to Little Europe, my personal favorite location here in the entirety of the backlot. For one main reason. No, it's not because this is where they film The Good Place, although that show is fantastic, all 4 seasons. If you haven't seen it yet, as you drive through, this is basically season 1. And you can still tell because this is all chocolate everything right there on that building. The kite shop is down in that corner. Right over here on my right-hand side, or my left, your right, there used to be a store called Everything Fits, and now I have to shop somewhere else. You know, not just because this place was both Paris and Berlin in the movie All Quiet on the Western Front, which was Universal's first movie to get Best Picture as an Oscar. And it's not just because that this road is the same place where Princess Mia Thermopolis had her royal engagement wedding, and Princess Diaries 2, a royal engagement. No. These sets are my favorite because this road and the beautiful Court of Miracles we're about to approach is where they filmed the song, The Prince is Giving a Ball, The Prince is Giving a Ball, and a 1997 straight-to-TV version of Cinderella. Folks, when I tell you this movie changed my life, and if you haven't seen it, it will change yours. Streaming now on Disney+. We have Brandy, the first woman to play a princess on TV as a black woman. Then we have Whoopi Goldberg as Queen Constantina. And can you hear it? Is it impossible? No! Whitney Houston as a fairy godmother. Yeah. 3 beautiful powerhouses, plus Paulo Montalban as our prince, Bernadette Peters as the stepmother. Folks, I could go on and on about it all day. But as beautiful as that movie is, and trust me, it's beautiful, it's not the only thing that's filmed there. In fact, they were filming on hallowed and haunted ground, the birthplace of the horror film genre. You see, back during the Great Depression, Universal, instead of making musicals like MGM or mobster films like, Paramount, there we go, there it is. We decided to turn to the public domain and look at monsters. Carl Laemmle Jr., our founder's son, he said, I saw this movie called Nosferatu from Germany, and I think that we could really do well with those. The first monster film, of course, was Phantom of the Opera, followed by The Invisible Man, and A Hunchback of Notre Dame, which celebrates 100 years this year, in that very same Court of Miracles. Then we have Dracula with Bela Lugosi, which came out on February 14th, 1931. Advertised as a dark romance. But do you know what the first official horror movie was? Frankenstein. Yes, the first time we see the word horror used in film and advertisement. As much as they use the word horror, they never actually named the actor who played the monster. And that's because he was a replacement. Originally they wanted Bela Lugosi, but he turned it down, and they were in a pickle, so they picked the tallest extra on set, Boris Karloff. When you look at those opening credits, next to the creature's name, they have a question mark. He was not even invited to the opening day screening. However, he made a huge name for himself and for people of color. Because although his nationality was English, his ethnicity was Indian. And after that, he became a huge star himself. He even continued working with Universal as our Mummy, alongside a young man known as Noble Johnson. Now, although Noble was just an extra in that movie, he was still pretty prolific in the black community because guess what? He was the first black man to have a contract with a major motion picture, Universal Productions. Woo-hoo! Now, some of our favorite monsters are always what they seem, and sadly, sharks do get a bad rep as a monster. But here's the thing. Just in case you were nervous, I already caught the shark, and my ex-boyfriend Brody, he's in the water right now making sure there's no more. I promised him if there was no more sharks, we would go on a second date. Oh my gosh. Okay, we're good. My husband doesn't have to know. Does anyone see Brody? Oh, there he is. Oh no. Okay, cool. I don't think I have to worry about that second date with Brody. It's okay, he had fish lips anyway. Terrible kisser. What we're gonna do is hide behind these very flammable gallons of gasoline, because Mama always said, buy the box of chocolates. Flammable. But I don't think that's the exact quote. It's fine, I'm sure it'll be fine. No, it's not fine. Look out, it's Jaws! Oh no, it's Jaws here! Get your glasses on with Jaws 3D! And Jaws, the revenge for part 4, all the ghosts of Immerse are sitting back there. Oh, don't worry, folks. That's just my pet shark, Bruce. He's super cute, right? Can anyone guess what kind of shark he is? Yell it out. Great white? Great guess. He's actually plastic. Yeah. You see, not only is he plastic, but he's a hard worker. The only shark in the world that can do the backstroke and actually works. Unlike the shark they used on set for Jaws. I'm sure many of you have heard the fabulous story about how it was supposed to be released in the winter of 1974. But Dom, wasn't Jaws released in summer of 1975? You are correct. They only had 60 days of production out off the coast of Martha's Vineyard in the actual Atlantic Ocean. Now, the original director did not test his mechanical shark, and when they replaced him with a younger, hipper, newer director, Steven something or other, he was only 27. He did a movie called Sugarland Express, an episode of Columbo, and a couple other things, and, well, he thought that this was going to make a big splash. But after that shark sank down to the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean on day 1 of filming and caused over 100 days of production backlog, it looked like his career was dead in the water. That was until he talked to his editor, Verna Fields. You know what she said? She said, Stevie, baby, you only have half a movie, but it's okay. The second half of the movie, we got the shark. In the first half, we will not show the shark on purpose, wink wink. That way, anticipation, fear, people will not know how big this shark is, and anything that you come up with is way more terrifying than anything we can show you on screen. And so, once it was released in the summer of 1975, it not only gave Verna Fields her Oscar for her amazing editing skills, but also gave a young Steven Spielberg, that's right, his first blockbuster film, gave him a huge name, and even created the tradition of the summer blockbuster. Now, although it looks like Amity Island, actually was not where they filmed Jaws. Like I said, they filmed on location. But it is where they filmed all 12 seasons of Murder, She Wrote, starring the late, great Dame Angela Lansbury. That does include the wonderful actress who played Mrs. Potts in Beauty and the Beast, excuse me. Over here, a Broadway fan like me, Mrs. Lovitz, and Sweetie Todd. As practical as that set is, I think the set we're driving down now is even more practical. Why? Because you don't need to do anything to it. Welcome to Wilderness Road. You see, when this tram is not parked off to the side, this set is used for all of our wonderful wilderness scenes for any production you can think of, including Bird Box with Sandra Bullock. Don't worry if you haven't seen it, neither did she. It's also where they filmed a crash site scene from 911, starring, again, our queen, Angela Bassett, and a place where Davy's limousine broke down going to prom in an episode of Never Have I Ever. Now, those two limousines from 911 and Never Have I Ever have one thing in common. What is it? They're picture cars! Cars! And guess what? They were so nice we had to see them twice. Welcome to Picture Cars 2. You might notice Mr. Bean's little green Fiat from Mr. Bean's Holiday. And then, of course, we have the yellow Camaro Bumblebee from Transformers and Bumblebee, but don't tell him he's parked next to Barricade, the Decepticon. Shh. Yes, that is in fact my black Charger from the Fast and Furious franchise. And you may recognize a couple of those other vehicles, except I don't see any drivers. Interesting. That's probably because they're all parked and checked into for the night at our favorite little motel, the Bates Motel. Dun dun dun! But don't worry, folks, everything's fine. For all of our out-of-town guests, I know it's getting late. You probably want to stop by, grab a quick shower. I have killer deals for you. They're really slashing those prices. Now, of course, this is based on the movie Psycho, directed by Alfred Hitchcock. I just noticed they can actually see kind of inside the office, even with the windows drawn like that. That's pretty cool. You see the cutout of Mr. Alfred Hitchcock's Norman Bates. And I know when we think about Psycho, we think of Alfred Hitchcock, but it was actually originally a novel that Alfred purchased the rights to. He then bought up every single copy of the book so no one else could read it and spoil the ending. Yeah. Now, when we watch the movie, you may realize that it's in black and white. Except, it didn't have to be. They had colorized technology. We know that because Alfred Hitchcock's movies, Marnie, Rear Window, Topaz, all of those were also filmed in color. So why was Psycho in black and white? Well, because of the use of blood, or chocolate syrup, in that famous shower scene. It was seen as too scandalous for the time it was premiered in. You know what was even more scandalous? The fact that they had the very first movie featuring a flushing toilet. Oh my gosh, it's crazy. What's even crazier is that is the original Psycho house, except only 2 of the walls are. Yeah. Originally it was just the front and sides of the building, giving you a facade or a false front. And then we added 2 more walls, making it a full shell, meaning the interior is completely empty. Unlike the set out here for War of the Worlds, which is completely practical. That's right, folks, welcome to the set of Steven Spielberg's 2005 blockbuster film, War of the Worlds. As you look around, keep in mind that is a real Boeing 747. Now, it is based on a real New Jersey neighborhood, but of course we had to recreate it because how many of you would let us destroy your home for a movie? None of you. I agree. But here's the thing. It cost $60,000 to purchase that plane, have it shipped out the Mojave Desert, and don't worry, it was already retired way back in the 70s. But it was the shipping and handling that really got us. $200,000. Dang. Now, since you look at it now, keep in mind, this is what it looks like on the day of filming. No people in any of those seats. Not even, not one dead body. Only scavengers looking for things. That's exactly what Steven Spielberg wanted. He wanted his audience to learn the same lesson he did with Jaws. Your imagination come up with something so much worse. So they took off the roof and they put it on the other side of the street. Yeah. It's also because they had to fit it underneath the California overpasses, but I like the first reason better. Now, this set was used for multiple other productions, including Jordan Peele's sketch in Key and Peele Airplane in season 3. The Last House on Your Right, that was used as a failed habitat for humanity and community. And the very first production that filmed here after War of the Worlds was released in the year 2010 was America's Next Top Model, which looking back at it was just as terrifying as that movie, War of the Worlds. But you know what I think is even scarier than America's Next Top Model? our next location we're going to now. Welcome to the set of Jordan Peele's Nope.
Movie magic only happens when a team of collaborators, often in the hundreds, work together to take an impossible notion and bring it to life. This is Jupiter's Claim, a nostalgic, small-time Southern California amusement park owned by former child star Ricky Jupe Park. Over there, we'll come to the winking pool and have your picture taken just like the kids in that old 90s movie. That's what this whole place is loosely based on. Remember that one? No? Well, I do. A little further down, you can see the brand new Star Lasso experience. To showcase an unbelievable new live show. Not looking so live anymore. Anyway, behind this Hollywood fantasy of gold rush frontier town lies a sinister secret. Welcome to the world of no.
Saying nope over and over again. It's literally why Jordan Peele called this movie Nope. He says, what do black people always say in the movie theater? Nope. Anytime you see a scary movie, nope. That's one of the feature why I love Jordan Peele's films so much. He turned horror on its own head. You see, every other horror film before, you know, you're thinking, I would never do that. But Jordan Peele, every single one of his characters makes sense. When we watch Get Out, we all would do the same thing that Chris did. We would see our phone unplugged, we would put it back on the charge, say something to our partner, I think it's the maid, we need to go. He was logical every step of the way, and yet he still got caught. Chills. Absolute chills. Now folks, we have talked so much about making movies. I think it's time we put you in one. Here's the story. One of you on board has been cast as our super secret witness against Owen Shaw. Now I'm not going to call you out, Yoshi Hat, but listen, we've got your back. Here's the thing though, we're going to get all of you together to work on our next line. You see, our co-stars Roman and Letty are inside right now here at Sullivan's Garage, and our opening line is, Yo, Roman. Alright, let's practice. 1, 2, 3. Yo, Roman! Okay, that was a great rehearsal. Now let's do the real take. I'll make it a little louder so we can hear us in the back. 1, 2, 3. Yo, Roman!
My name is Roman Pierce. Pleased to meet you. My buddy Hobbs asked us to stash you Shaw for a while. So we brought you in our secret spot.
All right, look guys, we're gonna keep Shaw from finding you, but to keep you safe, we need your help. We don't want the syndicate tracking us here. So put away your cameras and turn off your cell phones. One flash or one ringtone could give us away.
I need y'all to take this real serious.
Okay, pull into the next bay.
Alright folks, it does sound like it's about to get pretty spicy in there. No need for 3D glasses just yet. Wardrobe has informed me that our next location is in fact a party scene. So if you have any gold mini skirts or white go-go boots, throw those on now. Oh great, they got the message.
Everybody out! The FBI! Turn that music off!
What are we doing now?
This is what we're doing. This is the race day after party. And where the other?
Roman Pierce, FBI, don't move. Neil, that's right, party's over.
You know how long I took to iron this shirt, man? I'm not.
You're under arrest right now.
Ladies, just back up a little bit. I got it. It's lightweight. First of all, I don't work for you.
Oh, really? Well, tell me, Roman, who do you work for?
We don't work for nobody. Cop, I suggest you clear out of here, otherwise we can't guarantee your safety.
Guarantee my safety, I'm the one holding the gun.
Yeah, but mine's a whole lot bigger than yours. Hobbs, escort this novice out. Let's go, Cookie Puss. You got an ugly suit on, man. It's cheap.
Somebody out there really pissed off Shaw. It's gonna get ugly fast.
Yeah, don't worry. Lucky for you, our whole family will protect you.
Are you kidding me, Roman? You didn't shut off your phone?
I gotta call you back. I'm in the middle of...
I don't know, because you said something that we were
Call you
at a
back.
party.
It was on vibrate. Shaw traced us. Hobbs can't hold him forever. Letty, Roma, we're up. Driver, move that vehicle.
His name is Tony.
It's about to get real interesting.
Sorry, that was super rude.
My Mona Lisa's all warmed up right next door. Roman, grab your truck. I need you and Letty ready to roll.
Please let me turn on those 3D glasses. I want you to be fast before they get fairly upset. Thank you, you're the first person to laugh at that joke. Now, as we make it into our Jurassic parking lot, our final filming location, I would remind you all that this is going to be very loud. So if you or a young one, especially 5 years old or younger, have sensitive hearing, cover those ears. Trust me, you'll still hear loud and clear. And get ready for the ride of your lives. Lights, camera, rolling, action.
Which one of you is the witness? Speak now or you all get fried!
This is our turn.
After them!
Okay, guys, it's showtime. Come to the left. This is the ambassador. Roman, Letty, hook him up. Now we're moving.
Give me the witness to river, we call it a day! Witness is mine, Letty!
How about you eat asphalt?
Don't think you're getting away! Put it in the house!
Way to go, Letty. Not gonna happen. Don't worry, I got this. Hit the nitrous. Ride and die.
And that's how we roll with Bob and Billy Super Wow, did y'all see that? It was incredible. There was no traffic on the 10. If that was my commute this morning, I wouldn't have been late. Thanks. Looks like I'm getting one final transmission from Dom and the crew.
Hell of a job, everybody. You've protected the witness and you can resume breathing.
You know it's crazy out there. You guys ride hard. Respect.
You know, my Mona Lisa got messed up a little bit, but it's all good. We got through it. Y'all held us down. Appreciate it.
They said the bigger the family, the stronger it is. You guys did good out there.
Aww.
You're welcome to join our crew anytime.
Thanks, Dom. So sweet. By the way, great name. All right, folks. Looks like that is the end of our touring time together. Thank you so much for joining us. Give yourselves a round of applause. You made it. Yes, keep that applause going for our fantastic driver, Tony. I mean, the whole Fast and Furious franchise based on this man right here. Yeah, we're trying to figure out who Vin Diesel looks up to. Now, as we continue throughout the rest of our evening and the rest of our holiday season, I want to give a sincere thank you for joining us today and for watching all of your favorite movies and television shows. Anytime you go to put on the TV just to relax and escape your real life for just a moment, you are supporting someone's dream. And honestly, it takes a whole city, which is why we are dedicated to making movies. You see, it's not just about the actors you see on screen, but it's also the set designers, makeup, hair, transpo, the accountants, anyone working behind the scenes, and you are helping us live our dreams, and I hope that you can find your spot in it as well. For the rest of your evening here at Universal, if you at any point start to think, I should really watch my favorite Universal film of all time, A Beautiful Mind or Airport 77, go ahead and go to www.upag.com or talk to any one of our retailers. Once again, my name is Dom, not Toretto. I understand it. I get it. We look the same and sound the same, but we're two different people. I'm so glad you're part of my family now, and have a beautiful holiday season. With those 3D glasses, pop them in those blue bins right over there. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, oh, come on, Queen. I'm going to be right over there at the studio directory just to give you a little hi, hello, and see if you have any questions about the rest of your evening. If you haven't already, download that Universal Studios Hollywood app. Have a fantastic night here at Universal Studios Hollywood. The happy